AD 24. So John reflects the changing political times through identifying identifying the Sea of Galilee as the Sea of Tiberias. 6. Pilate's judgment seat. In John 19:13, Pontius Pilate brought Jesus to the judgment seat. This has been identified near the Herodian palace. Now let's look at the historical reliability of the Synoptic Gospels. The inscription about Pontius Pilate. Pilate is mentioned in all four Gospels. An inscription at Caesarea Maritima was found within his name, with his name on it. It is on it as a prefect of Judea, which is the southern region that encompassed Jerusalem. Second, the boy Jesus in the temple. In Luke chapter 2, verse 41-50, there is a discovery of a stairway south of the southern wall of the Temple Mount. Makes it clear that it was here that young Jesus amazed the rabbis by his knowledge. This was the place that rabbis came to discuss the matters of the law. So do you remember when Jesus, as a boy, was at the temple and he was discussing with the rabbis? Well, we found the place where the rabbis in the temple would discuss. And so the matching of the historical story, the story with the historical reality of what we know of the temple matches. Number 3, a winepress stone walled terrace and 3 towers. In all Gospels, Jesus is called Jesus of Nazareth. In the parable of the talents, he says that a man planted a vineyard. He puts a wall around it, dug a pit for the winepress, and built a watchtower. Mark 12:1, Matthew 21:33. But Luke in 20 verse 9 omits most of the elements. In the 1990s, archaeology confirmed this data of Nazareth and a winepress. Less than half a mile from the center of 1st century Nazareth to the west, a winepress has been exposed, and beautifully constructed stone wall terraces are now visible. Most importantly, three circular stone towers, only about 50 feet apart, now rise majestically above the rocky terrain. So when we read the Gospel's historical the stories of Jesus, when he's talking about certain things, you know, archaeology is discovering that is backing up the historical reality of that time, and why Jesus would use illustrations, because these things actually were around him to use as illustrations. The Galilean boat in Luke 5 verse 1-11, a fishing boat is mentioned. A fishing boat has been, Luke 5:1-11. You know, the story there is about a fishing in Galilee. A fishing boat has been found in the mud of the northwest shore of the Lake of Galilee and confirms the Gospels. It's not the disciples' fishing boat, but what it shows is the kind of things, the historical things that are happening in the Gospels are being backed up by archaeology. Number 5, the farmers in the parable of the tenants. This parable, Matthew 21:33-46, Matthew 12:1-12, Luke 29:19. The landlord rents out his land to farmers. When he sends his servants to collect some of the produce or profit, the farmer beat them and eventually killed the landowner's son. From the larger context of rabbinic traditions, Greek papyri, and a true life story from Cicero himself in 106-43 BC, this practice is verified. Craig A. Evans, Are the Wicked Tenant Farmers Peasants, page 231-50. Peter's house in Capernaum, Matthew chapter 9 verse 1. Peter's house found. Von Wald writes, almost all scholars now espouse this view, that the house belonged to the apostle. Helpful books on this subject of research and material. Research material about the historical reliability of the Gospels can be found in the following: Paul Rhodes Eddy and Gregory A. Boyd, The Jesus Legend, A Case for the Historical Reliability of the Synoptic Jesus Traditions, Baker Academic 2007. D.A. Carson and Douglas Moo, An Introduction to the New Testament, 2nd edition, Zondervan 205. F.F. Bruce, The New Testament Documents, Are They Reliable? 1981. Erdmanns. Craig Blomberg, The Historical Reliability of the Gospels, 2nd edition, InterVersity 2007. Berger, Gardson, Reliability of the Gospel Tradition, Hendrickson 2001. Donald Guthrie, New Testament Introduction, 4th edition, InterVersity 1990. Mark D. Roberts, Are the New Testament Documents Reliable? 205. Rami Arav, Bethesda in Carlson's Worth, Jesus and Archaeology, page 145, 666. Dan Barrett, Jesus and the Herodian Temple in Charlesworth, Jesus and the Archaeology, page 308. James H. Charlesworth, Jesus and Archaeology, Erdmanns 2006. James D. Dunn, Jesus, Table, Fellowship and Quran, Jesus and the Dead Sea Scrolls, ED edition, James H. Charlesworth, Doubleday, page 1992, page 254 to 72. Jesus in Context, Temple and Purity and Restoration, Brill 1997, ED Bruce Chilton and Craig A. Evans, page 231 and 50. John McRae, Archaeology in the Bible, Jerome Murphy O'Connor, Oxford Archaeological Guide to the Holy Land, 4th edition, Oxford 1998. Just a little comparison between the Gnostic Gospels and the Gospels as a comparison. The Gnosticism, the word came from an ancient Greek word, knowledge. A Gnostic is someone who knows, or a knower. What does he or she know? It was secret teachings that lift him to new insights.